Howdy. Old Bubba's back to talk with you a little bit again today. We've been talking for a couple of weeks now about some of the racial strife that's going on in our country, and it's a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing. And there's a lot of expressions and phrases that are being thrown around, and people are grabbing onto them and, starting a movement by that title or whatever. Well, what I want to do today is to ask you 2 or 3 questions about some of these things, and what I want you to do is to think about them. We got to think about these things if we're going to ever get any better in our situations. Now, I mentioned before this expression, the Black Lives Matter. And it's a catchy phrase, but what's really the meaning of it? I think everybody would probably say lives matter. Does it matter? Yeah, it matters. But then they've added the word black to it, and they're not comfortable with anybody putting any other color there. They don't like that. They want that to be the one that everybody focuses on. But, let's think about that emphasis on the word black. That's the word black. Now, a young lady she's a brilliant young woman too. She helps to get these things posted, for on the internet. And we were talking about the Black Lives expression the other day, and she says, well, what if you're just half black? Now, that's a good question, ain't it? If the emphasis is on black and you're only half black, does that mean that you only matter half of the time? The first half of your life, or the last half of your life, or the first part of the day, or the last part of the day? What does that mean? You see, people need to think about stuff like that. It's an expression, and it reveals more than I think the people who use it want to recognize that it reveals. Now, the second thing I want to ask about is, to whom do black lives really matter? Well, let's look at a couple of big cities, Chicago and Detroit. That Chicago, man, they have killings every week and every weekend. I mean, just piles of people that are being killed, and same is true in some of the other big cities. And by the way, I think the police department in Chicago is run by blacks. I think the leader of it is. I don't know that for sure, and I'm not sure about Detroit, but a lot of these cities, they are controlled by black officials. Now, here's my question. If Black Lives Matter so much, what are the people in Chicago who are supporting the notion of Black Lives Matter, what are they doing about it? Are they stopping any of the killing? What are they doing? It seems to me that the police are the people who are really standing between law-abiding black people and the black killers there. And yet they're protesting the police. And then I want to ask one more question. If Black Lives Matter is such an important thing to these people, what do they say about all the little black babies, the millions of them that have been killed over the years in their mother's womb? Have you seen them out protesting? Have you seen them out hollering about it? Now, I know that there are some black people who are horrified by that, but I'm talking about the people who are out there protesting and doing all these things. Do the little black babies' lives matter? Folks, we got to face the truth, and sometimes it's a little uncomfortable. But these are the kind of questions that we got to ask, and we better answer ourselves honestly about it. I thank you for listening today, and good Lord willing, I'll talk to you soon, and we'll have some more questions. Thank you.